Hello, Jesse. And hello, Caramel Girl. All right, so we're just picking up where we left off yesterday. We got some pencils in here uh, on these Marvel ACEOs, and I will be adding more pencils, but I wanted this live to focus on some of the inks. Um, and I'm tempted to add more, but let's just jump into the inks. Let's see. Uh, Let me move these sketches out of the way so I have a little more space. There we go. Okay. Okay, goodbye, Jesse. Thank you for dropping by. And enjoy the music. Okay. Starting off here, I think I'm gonna go with 08 first, since we have a pretty close up headshot here. Also, if anyone saw yesterday, I fixed the pencil. There was a piece of lead that had gotten dislodged, and that's why it wasn't working. But I'm glad it's working. Hello, RDW. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. Working on Fahrenheit's designs, and I'm sure those are gonna look cool. Sorry, I had a cough. Right before I go into it, actually, let's just flip through the ones I've done because this is a new video. So here we have Black Costume Spider-Man, Venom, Green Goblin. Do any of these guys even need introduction? I think not. So I'm not going to list off their names. I'll just let the art do the talking. So here we got some pencils. And it's been a while since I've really been doing like Marvel characters and stuff like that. I had a little bit of renewal and interest not too long ago. I think around maybe October, November time. So some of you guys got to see that as I was doing like my greatest hits redrawing and kind of showing I still got it after not having drawn those characters. And it kind of just aligns, 2016 was really big into it, and it was like 10 years later. Some of my specialties were like Deadpool, Spider-Man, um, Venom, the Lizard. And then now with these cards, I get to do even more Marvel characters than I would have done. And with these ACEOs, what's going to happen is these are going to be on eBay. I'm going to be putting these on eBay once I finish inking them and coloring them. And it kind of justifies me getting to draw some Marvel characters and taking a break from my own characters. Not that I want to break from my own characters, but I think it's a good way to get a little. Hopefully, I haven't done it yet. Just made an eBay account. Never done eBay before. A little side cash to help um, maybe fund some of my work. So going right in with the 08.
Every part of your life. The last thing patients should worry about is getting to care. That's why MSK has care in many locations.
And I think maybe on the next live, we can do some coloring on them. But the next live will be like next week. Wait a second. Today's Saturday? Going into Sunday. Yeah, so I won't be able to go live tomorrow, sadly. So I'm only able to go live really on the weekends. By then, I'll probably have some more cards penciled in, maybe, depending on my time, because largely what I'm working on off camera is some sketch covers with Dynamite Comics. I'm using a Artist Loft fine liner, and I've had this for years. I got this from Michael's like years ago. I think like 2016ish. Because at that time I got a new pencil case and I wanted to just put stuff in it that I'm like, oh, I want it to be like my uh convention pencil case that I'll bring and be doing inks and stuff at a booth or a panel or something. Um, but then I just like never went to any of those, never went to Artist Alley and stuff like that. And so I just had them for like 10 years. And I'm like, what if my ink stopped working in 10 years? Let me just start using them and I can always like replenish them. But it's interesting seeing Artist Loft because I almost like exclusively go for Micron ever since like my local Michael's closed down. Because I would just experiment, just walk in the store, buy some. Um, but now with Amazon, I just kind of just go for whatever I typically get. Thank you, Eddie. And he loves you too. uh, I just realized something about the original character girlies. I have I accidentally gave most of them nerdy, shy love interests. Ah, maybe that's a trope of yours or trademark of yours. You know, something you can lean into in your writing. Now, if you were to write your own series, though, then it can seem a little. You would want a little more diversity in that. But if it's just like a homebrew character per series, you get a refreshing card, I think, as an artist, and a voice that we bring to a project as a writer and as an artist. I'm gonna move to a 0-3 for the eyes, just so I have a little more control. Sorry if I'm coughing a lot. I think I'm having some allergies or something. I tried something a little different for this live. Uh, Before I started the live, I took just a quick photo to have like a thumbnail for it. Where before I was just going in the lives with no thumbnail. Um, so it was just looking like my profile picture. And I was like, for anyone who's just scrolling by, never heard of me, don't know anything about this, um, maybe it's better to have a thumbnail and also, get to show off some of the art a little bit. Maybe they'll click on the video. I don't know if that's going to be helpful or not, or the fact that I'm just inking. And I think typically I tend to get more views when I do ink work. Hello, Dave, and happy birthday, by the way. I hope you had a special birthday. Oops, I hit the camera. So I got the UCS Death Star. Really happy about that. I'm glad you got something that you're happy about. I'm glad you were able to get it. Can't wait to get paid twice in 1 week. Twice in 1 week. Picked up a second job. Don't look because he got mad at the stuff I got. Why does he get the stuff holding his iPad? What? Why'd he get mad? It's not his birthday. Did he get something too? Like a little gift? Where's my 005? Oh, dog sitting and house sitting. Yeah, I did that before. This old pen still got it after being dormant for so long. You heard that cat? I have my screen door open, pretty hot. I wonder if that's Stumpy. We gotta. We have a lot of cats, like stray cats in the area, and one of them we nicknamed Stumpy. I call him the Bobcat. My brother calls him the Stumpy. I like that Stumpy, and he's just a cat with like no tail, so we can identify him when he was running around.
Can't get heard? Not anymore. On Musicster, go head to head in music battles. Let fans vote for their favorite tracks and earn the chance to win real cash rewards and record label support. Musicster, it's your chance to become famous.
banana it's annoying. Got more mad saying you wanted the Lego. Oh, it's okay. It's good for kids to not get what they want sometimes, especially in this day and age with like the internet, everything's so instant, all the instant gratification. Get a little bit of a marker here so I could cover more ground. My markers keep rolling around. Being a radical soldier, and you see this woman melt through the metal of a warehouse wall. That is a cool image. Crunchy like a cookie. I never thought crunchy would be the term. Hello, Beard. Beard Bearden ye the drum guy. Am I saying your name right? Beard Nye. The drum guy. That sounds like it makes more sense. Like it rhymes. Beard Nye, the drum guy. Okay. So someone else has crunchy art. But now you gotta tell me what mine is. So mine is not crunchy. Now that begs the question, what is it then? Just bringing this out. Let's bring back that marker. I think I'm just gonna look for larger areas to put in some blacks, as this is the black costume. The symbiote suit. Some Old Spice. Okay, I locked in a little bit, but we'll read the chat. Is it just me or being in a Mexican family and talking to a girl the same age as you, and they just like say, ooh? I think that's a universal experience. That for me, that was always annoying. I'm not Mexican, but I always found that annoying with my family, and so I always kept uh my that circle of my life very private. Yes, I do have my coffee today. So we're back on a chill live. I do want to say I have a free to read comic series because I just noticed we got some people watching. And I didn't mention it earlier. My mandatory announcement per live. I got to say it once. I have a free to read comic series you can read on the Graveyard Comics Facebook page or on my TikTok account in the Nadir Archives playlist. I have a few published comics as well that's in a different universe, so you don't have to buy those to understand what's happening in the free to read series. And that is called Dead Liberty on Amazon. If you look up Dead Liberty Jake Grave, it should come up. I hope. um, I do. I'm a sketch artist with Dynamite Comics, so I do sketch cards and sketch covers. What I'm working on here, I'm doing some Marvel ACEOs, which are basically just little art cards that I'm going to be putting on eBay. I bought one of the books on Amazon. Which one did you buy, Dave? Issue 0 is the first book if you're reading Dead Liberty. I think the best place to start, if you're getting one of my books, I would say uh Blood Hunt's a good one because you could just get Blood Hunt and have like a taste of like, my work. Um but Dead Liberty would be issue 0 and issue 1. But thank you for your support as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, of course. I always love hearing people's thoughts on, Dead Liberty or anything I write. It also means the world to me that anyone's even bought any of my books. Can't wait till issue 5 comes out. Me too. I think no one's more anxious for that book to come out. I was thinking of it today. Um, I was like, dang. So I finished a card for the Patreon. The last Patreon card I had to send out. So I'm kind of all caught up on the Patreon cards finally. And I was like, dang, one more thing out of the way. And all this time I got a cover out of the way for Dynamite. So I finished the cover. And so all the red covers are done. And so I'm like halfway done with the covers I have to do. So I did that today. I did the card today, so I'm done with that. So I can mail that batch out. So I'm really happy that I made that progress. But both of those things do not progress my comic. So I'm like, oh man. I it was productive in the sense that I had to do that. But I do feel like, I'm spread very thin. And then when I color this one, I'm gonna go in with like blues on these areas. So I'm gonna leave that open up. And so I think there we have it for this card here. As far as the inks would look, you have a more finished look, a taste of what it would look like finished as the inks are done. I just need some color as I will be coloring all of these ACEOs. Back in the day when I was the one who had to announce Kindle release because Jake forgot to say his email right away. I forgot what it was. I forgot to do something.
Here you leave today and enter a world of or whatever you love.
I also got $250 gift card. That's really nice. That's nice. Oh, I feel bad spending like uh like birthday money and stuff like that. I'm glad I kind of waited to buy Dead Liberty because that meant I had to wait less. Yeah, that's what I always tell people, especially also too, even with the Nadir series. If I was always like, if you're just finding my stuff, you got it kind of easier because people waited like years for these for what we have out. Okay, so there we got one, and let's see how that would look here. I would want to take a picture of them before I go and color it, maybe. Okay, so moving on to the next one, Venom. take a sip of my coffee. That's not a volume. That's a issue. Yes. Okay, you already corrected yourself. I was gonna say a volume would be a bit more. Hopefully, a 5-star meal. I appreciate that. 5-star meal. I really appreciate that because I know it's an issue, and issues are typically pretty short. Although a few of mine were a bit longer, as far as like issue 0 and and Blood Hunt issue 1 were a bit longer, but typically there will be like 22 pages and then have bonus content. But there will be a point where I'm like, you know what? Let me just extend the page count. I forgot what issue I started doing that in though. Definitely nothing you're up to with the books that I'm publishing right now, like issue 5. We can see. We can see, Dave. I do want to get some progress on these cards because I'm not gonna work on them off off camera really too much because I got to work on the covers. But if I'm just thinking, what am I gonna do next live? I said I was gonna color some of them, but we're probably also gonna continue inking some of them. I would love to bring these to work with me and ink them at work as well, but the covers take priority. But if I was done with the covers, I can bring these ACO projects with me to work. Okay. More advice for me, if possible, for me about college and everything. Also, some advice to improve my comics. Um, I would say I would need to have like a specific ballpark like type question so I can see because it's kind of a very broad topic. Especially since I already kind of said some stuff as far as like college went yesterday. Um, so like to not repeat myself either too much. One thing I would say, if I can think of something, stay on track of your homework. One thing I would do is I would not wait till the last minute to do an assignment. I would spend one day just reading the assignment so I know what it is that I have to do. And, if I have any questions, I can email the professor and get a chance to, give them a chance to have some time. Um, Also, if I need to like get something or feel like, oh wow, that looks like it's gonna take a lot longer than I thought, or I have to do this extra component, or I have to draw something for it, or I have to get some supplies. So it gives me some time. So I can also like mentally process it and not overwhelm myself where I'm like, oh, I just have to do it. And then I like to write little notes for myself when I read the prompt of whatever it is, an essay or, an assignment. And so I take one day just to read it, and then I'll write some of my ideas down. Like if I'm gotta write an essay, you know, uh, I'll like write down how I want to break down the paragraphs, and each paragraph should have a topic. And then I'll leave myself like 2 days to work on something. So I have a little safety net, in case I run out of time or something. And when I have to do something like an essay that takes me a lot of time, I like to kind of comfort myself, try to be comfortable in the project. I put music with no words. Sometimes it would be a theme for something. In my later years of college, I started listening to like lo-fi kind of versions of certain franchise things like Halo lo-fi or Dark Souls lo-fi and things like that. It got to a point though with the Halo one I was listening to that at one point I was listening to it on I think on my own or on a live, and I was like, "Oh, this is reminding me of my essays actually," and it kind of made me. So be careful not to kill a song for you either. I listened to it on yesterday's live because I was like, "Well, I'm done with classes, so I'm not gonna get any like PTSD." Really, it's not like I have any more essays coming up. I I think I do have an essay actually for my last test. But also, I actually like writing essays because I'm a writer, so it's not that bad for me. As for advice with improving your comics, there's definitely a wealth of things I can talk about with that, and I would like to talk about that as it is comic related, and so it fits the theme of the lives. But if I could say some gradual, just some basic advice with the comic stuff, um, you know, definitely draw every day, but draw with purpose. Study something, learn something. Um, I highly recommend a book that was recommended to me by Mariano Nicieza, How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. And I really love that book. And you got all of Stan Lee's charm, the artwork by John Buscema. And I've heard of the book before. I've looked through it when I was like in high school and stuff, but I read that book cover to cover and I saw like a spike in my art recently. It was like over the summer, I think I was reading that. And I like gained a few extra wrinkles on my brain. And it really covers everything that you need to know to make like comics and stuff. And it's not that expensive on Amazon at the time of this recording, anyway. And I would even recommend that to people who are not comic book artists, but just like to draw because there's so much that it covers because so much goes into comic books, like drawing backgrounds. And I credit that book for being what um, finally got me to start drawing 3 point perspective. Because I was always like, how often would I use 3 point perspective? I was always pretty good at perspective, but I didn't know if I had the time to really sit down and kind of teach myself something I didn't really need so actively. I was getting by on 1 point and 2 point perspective. Um, but 3 point perspective is so good for like dynamic posing and setting a scene. And it's only it's the same thing as like 2 point perspective, but with like one extra step. like 2 extra steps. And also bird's eye and worm's eye view are both types of three-point perspective. So if you know how to do one of them, you can kind of do the other one by kind of inverting it and doing the opposite. Um, but yeah, that's really great for, your compositions and your scenes, setting up interesting uh, setups for your characters, like what's happening, like the scenery and the framing or whatever. I'm making some mood boards for my homebrew characters. And mood boards are definitely something that is a good thing to practice to really get into the mindset of a character or a theme or whatever it is you're working on. Specifically, oftentimes for main characters. As a side character, you may not always get as deep into it. There's definitely things you don't need to really spell out everything about your characters, like what their favorite color is. That's more of a show don't tell kind of thing. Like if they have a preference for green things, you can kind of let the reader assume, oh, they probably like green.
You can do amazing things when you have what you need in one place. That's
Hello, Mr. Fancy, Mr. Fancy Monkey.
spend more time discovering. Start
And hello, Nikki Raft. I'm just reading the comments real quick. I do read everyone's comments. I just need to get to them all. I've been struggling with this project for so long. It's in art for me. Which project? Which one are you talking about? I drank a lot of coffee in college because of the amount of work I did. To the point when I woke up in the morning, my roommate said, "One of your eyes looks more dilated than the other." That's weird if they're not dilated at the same time. I don't think that's normal. It's like you're a Jedi Master and the Apprentice. Yes, learn my knowledge and my experiences. A lot of this stuff is things that took me literal years to you know, learn and apply. And I'm teaching you at a way younger age than I was applying it. I wasn't using I think you said you just turned 17. When I was 16, that's when I decided to make comic books and start like really taking art serious and like making my own stories and my own characters. Um I didn't really start watching like art tutorials and stuff like that. I think I started watching them in like 2016, and it was more so for like inspiration and like enjoying the artist I was watching and like, oh, I want to be like an art YouTuber. Maybe I could probably do that. If I ever want to be like an art YouTuber, and I thought that would be cool. But being an art YouTuber, especially back then, was a lot of work. I was so not tech savvy. I think I made like a few videos. I ended up deleting a few of them. I was actually thinking of this earlier. I was like, I wish I didn't delete those videos. I wish I just like privated them. Um, because like, they're not perfect, but when you do end up becoming better, you soften your touch to them because you can look back on them and see how much you've grown. So I kind of wish I didn't delete those videos. And also you're probably thinking, why can't you just re-upload them? Um, my SD card that I had with them on it, I had it for a while, and a couple of years I had it in my laptop, one of my laptops, because I was like gonna do some like little edits on a video, but I just never had the time, and I just left it there. And then someone broke it, snapped my SD card in half. I'm like, of course, I can't have shit, man. I was so upset. That was my SD card that came with my camera too. I was recording on a camera back then and a tripod, and then look, this is such a better setup, but it's for my phone. Back then, my phone was ass. Like I had an old iPhone at that point, and I was like new to having an iPhone. And I was thinking about this. It's funny that the topic of YouTube comes up because literally before I was coming on the live and I was wrapping up one of the Patreon sketches, I was thinking about it and I'm like, I've become a lot more tech savvy. I've also become a lot more knowledgeable in art. I'm literally about a few weeks away from just getting my master's degree in art education. So I'm confident in the art. I'm confident in the things I say. If I say draw a hand like this so you can do that, I'm not really second guessing myself, and I'm not as scared as I would be as I was like 10 years ago. I was kind of scared, like, oh, if I draw it like this, maybe I should say, this is how I draw hands or how I draw hands instead of how to draw hands, right? Now I say, you know what? Hate on it. Give me that engagement. Comment in your hate comments. I don't care. Add it. Who's going to tell me otherwise? It's like, I can always just be like, well, it looks good. If it looks good, that justifies itself. If not, take it up with my degree. I'm kidding. But anyways, what I'm getting at is I'm way more confident in the art, and also I'm not gonna like lose my mind if someone's like, oh, that's terrible, or that thing looks off, whatever, right? I'm not gonna lose my mind over it. I'll be like, uh, maybe it does look a little off, but one, I will improve, and two, it's not the last drawing I'm gonna do, so it's not the end of the world if even I mess up. Um, But yeah, so I was thinking about it and I'm like, now it's probably even easier than ever. Like this phone alone has way better quality in audio and you know, picture capture than my old camera did. It's and then it's like on this mount directly facing the artwork. So it's nice, the technological improvements kind of make it so that the barrier to entry is so simple that anyone can really just prop their phone up and start drawing, recording themselves, and it look, you know, really nice compared to what we had with like cameras and things like that. And also, um, so I was thinking about it. I'm like, should I get back into it? Should I make this like 10 years later? Like, after I think my first videos were like posted maybe 2016, 2017, or 2018. But I'm like, should I like try again? Should I try to do YouTube again, like long format videos? I already have like the audience as far as like I got like 2,000 subscribers right now. So it's not like I'm starting from scratch. Before I got up to getting like 30 subscribers. Oh man, and I hated my voice. That's the other thing. I hated my voice with a passion. But after all these lives that I've done and videos, I've been posting my voice a little more. I've heard my voice a lot now. And I've softened up to my voice. I don't hate it as much as I used to. And so I'm like, the only thing I'm really concerned about as far as like, doing long form YouTube videos now would be uh, storage on my phone. Like, will that kill my phone? Now I just got a new phone that has more storage, which is good. So I'm like, all the stars are kind of like lining up a little bit. But if I did that, I think I would have to have my phone horizontal, right? Let's see how that would look. Let's see how that would look horizontal. Oh, my card's just like Got mixed up. Hold on, let me just move these cards out of the way. I'm bumping into them. Okay. So let's see. Let's see what what do you guys prefer? Do you like horizontal or do you like vertical? So if I do it horizontal, oh, that feels a little weird. Oh, well, for a live, I can't see the chat now. I'm gonna scroll down to see the new comments, and then I'll scroll back up. Okay, I see Kaylee came in here. Hello, Kaylee. Long time no speak. All right, what do you guys think of this horizontal? You're probably on your phone, right? Okay, put it back. Okay, that's all I need to see. I feel like most people are on their phone. So definitely for what's it called? For the lives, we'll stay vertical. That's not it. Okay. The other thing I'd have to think about is like the music. Like, what kind of music can I get? That was the thing I hated the most when I was making like YouTube videos. When I say I was making like YouTube videos, I made like 3 videos. I deleted one of them. I kept one of them up, and then the other one snapped the SD card before I could put music and edit the video and put it on. And also, like, I would have issues. Like, sometimes I'd put like a video up, and then the camera would not have audio. One time it was because so I would just my default would be to turn it into a time lapse. Like, if the production got messed up, like the audio cut out, or like I forgot to turn the microphone on. Can you believe that? That's crazy. I didn't even know I had to turn it. I think I even put the batteries in at one point. And so sometimes I just watch that old video and I just laugh at myself how stupid I was. That video is still up too, if anyone wants to see that. At this time, it's not drowned or anything, so it should be really easy to find if you go on my page and just look at the videos. I was on a different desk. Same model though, but a different one. I didn't have my cutting board at that time. Hello, Arnavakowski. Oh, I hope you're still here. I just saw your comment. I was talking for a bit there. Okay, let me just see. So far, I enjoy it. Are you talking about Dead Liberty? You read it already? Or are you talking about something else? Okay, read the comments. Okay. Mr. Fancy asked what I was doing. I don't know if Mr. Fancy's still here, but I am working on some ACEOs with a Marvel theme. So I'm doing a bunch of Marvel characters on these cards. I do art. We have a Discord channel, and I think the link is in my description. And if you do art, you could post your artwork in the general art section, the general art channel. And we have the coolest people on our Discord. You get updates on my projects and when I go live and what platform I'm going live on. Meet awesome people and share your own artwork. And thank you for mentioning that, Carol Girl. Apprentice Dave. Grandmaster Jake, Jedi Master Kaylee, Caramel, and Apprentice D. Okay. How do I get XP? Uh, for what? For Star Wars talk is two Grandmasters on Star Wars. It's Jake and yours truly. Grandmaster Jake and Grandmaster Dave. How much did I miss? I finished inking the Spider-Man one. Good night, Caramel Girl. Thank you for dropping by. I just saw your comment. Okay. I'm gonna go with a smaller pen so I can get some of this drool in here. Kaylee, what part of the live did you enter? Because I know I was talking for a bit when you entered. Just out of curiosity, I just want to know what topic I was on. I was probably talking about YouTube at that point, I think. But I'm wondering, like, I guess if I was talking about like the past, I don't even remember. It's forget it. I don't even remember. If I don't remember, I don't expect anyone else to. what were we talking about? We were talking something about YouTube. I was I'm wondering if I finished my train of thought on that. Just checking the comments, see if I missed anything. Uh, um, the Mustafar system. Who Caramel Girls going to the Mustafar system? You see, even this drawing here, that is like he's like all black for the most part. Even that is taking me quite some time, as you saw here. When it was just pencils, I drew that up like in seconds. But when it came to inking it, it's all this rendering is taking a while because I'm like carving out the form. Just gonna get the teeth, the tongue in here, and I'm gonna add some teeth actually here, 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 just so we have a little more dimension. So it feels a little more 3D. He's got some teeth back there. And I'm gonna use this eraser just to lightly brush over it so I could get rid of some of those stray pencils. For these ACEOs, I was thinking of even coloring the background a solid color, like what I do when I work on cards with Dynamite. So bringing some of that over into it. Because I think that'll also like make them feel complete as well. Goodbye, Kaylee. Thank you for dropping by. I didn't see your comment. I missed yours. Which one, Dave? The Mustafar one or a different one? Okay, so it looks like we got another one in with the Venom. So pencils are very quick for me. Coloring them with the markers is also very quick for me. It's the inks. The inks take so long. So it's that midway section that takes a while. Um, Before a color pencil also took me a while too, because I was like pressing really hard, really wanted to get that nice and juicy. Especially with the Prismacolors, looked really nice. Okay. So here we have one more, and then I'm gonna write something on the back like ACO Venom. So I'm gonna write Venom ACO. I'm gonna sign it Jake Grave with my new marker. Uh, my new Sharpie chisel. Oops, chisel tip here. And here is just testing out some of the signatures. I feel like it's a bit dark. Looks like it lightened up a little bit, the green. I don't know, for you guys, looks a little dark there, but in person, it looks a little lighter. Here, I did another test on one of the more business card size cards. You can see it's a little bit smaller. It's like half an inch in width, but it's the same height. So now I got to draw something on it, but I'm just glad that it didn't bleed through, like it did through that cheap index card, because I was I got these with the intention to sign the cards. So I did that as a test. I'm glad it didn't bleed through, so I can use it. Alrighty, so that's two done. For inks. And look at this pile. Oh man. Let's see the Green Goblin. He's next on this list here. Kinda if I'm going in order, right? Jedi arts, actual arts. I had so much fun ore farming. Poor Jake needs more people than me just watching and talking. I agree, but it's all right. I think one of the things is while we have a small amount of people, even if I got one person watching and like talking, it's like at least I'm still engaging in conversation. I think it's like when I go silent that I'm like, all right, I could do this. I could do this off camera. Might wrap it up. Yes, the resident Star Wars geek.
There's only one iconic sequel that can't be missed. It's time. Experience the Devil Wears Prada 2 now. Now? Now. Right now. No, not like a hypothetical now. Like now, now. Now playing everywhere. Get tickets now. Weight loss starts with a game plan. Meet Wegovy Pill, the #1 prescribed GLP-1 weight loss pill. People taking Wegovy Pill lost over 30 pounds. Some lost over 47.
Guess the character. I guess we could try. Let's see. How would I guess this character? Like, what would you describe him as? Original movies. So is he a good guy or bad guy? Both. I'm already thinking Darth Vader. That was my first thought. Just doing his job. Is he a bounty hunter? Hello, mystery. Making some progress on some of the cards inking today. Original, is he also in the sequel? I mean, prequel? Is he also in the prequel series? No. As soon as I asked, if it was a bounty hunter, my first thought would have been Boba Fett. But now that you're saying he's a child, I'm like, it's gotta be Boba Fett. Who else would it be? I can't think of us seeing any other bounty hunters as a kid. We did see Cad Bane as a kid actually, but he wasn't in the original one. Original trilogy. I don't know. Boba Fett was kind of bad. He was kind of. I don't know if he was morally ambiguous. I think he kind of became good in more recent stuff. Good job. Made it easy. I think with the little fine lines here, I can put some of the rendering on the face and really kind of bring out his face and kind of trying to get him this kind of expression and make him really feel dramatic, extreme. I keep telling myself. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee real quick. Sure. You can't pick something too impossible either. I have to have a chance.
Hotels.com is where you go to hundreds of thousands of hotels and earn rewards on every stay. It's exactly what it sounds like. Unlike catfish, which is not what it sounds like. Hotels.com. It's all in the name.
Force user, good or bad? Uh, Darth Revan? Nope. Bascula? Yep. That was a trickier one. Yeah. The game kinda helped with some direction as far as, like, the time period. I always liked the light side in that game, although I loved having the ability to be dark side. I always try to be as, like, good for the most part, until I found out that I was, like, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't played that game, until I found out who I truly was, if you know what I'm saying. Then I was like, "Oh, I'm a bad bitch," you know? So I started being mean, and I started losing, light side points, and it was kinda hard to go back to the light side, the more dark side you were. But I was more just, like, being an ass and being rude, and, uh, and people would laugh at me. They'd be like, "No way. This guy thinks he's Darth whatever." It's so funny. My friend was playing that at the time, and he didn't care. He was like, "Man, forget those people. I don't care." He was always picking all the dark side options. He was stealing from people. He sold the rat ghoul virus serum to the huts. He was a menace. Dave, what did you play the game on? Because that's an old game. Wait, did you play it on like, a re-release, like, Switch? I was playing that shit on, like, the original Xbox. Like, fuck with the light side. The light side, what full dark side? PC. I really love the Dark Troopers in the original Star Wars Battlefront game. It's really a shame that the EA Star Wars Battlefront didn't bring them back, at least as a skin. Come on. They had the Rocket Troopers, but they didn't have the Dark Troopers, which I appreciate them having the Rocket Troopers. I love so very much that the EA Star Wars Battlefront brings in things from Rebels, and it kind of shows me what that would look like kind of in that universe, and things from the Clone Wars too, like the commando droids, because it like validates that it is in fact in the universe. I used to always play as the Dark Trooper. I remember when I first ever really played Battlefront, I was like, the original Battlefront, I love that game so much. I never got tired of it, like, years. I was playing that game all the way up until, like, early college, um, and I remember just playing as the Dark Trooper and hearing the sounds, and I just loved how I could just, like, fly in the air and come down, and I was like a off-brand Boba Fett. Okay, and here where's my pencil? Oh, here it is. So here's my pencil working again. I was so shocked that it wasn't working yesterday, but the lead just got jammed. So I'm happy to say this is still a good quality pencil. I'm happy to rep this pencil.
How'd you come up with this world? I've been playing there all my life. Malcolm, keep playing. See what happens.
Trying something out real quick. I don't know if I wanted the diamond scales or like the other scales. I think the other scales might work because it could kind of feel like scale mail a little bit. I think I'll commit to these scales. I'll read the chat in a second. Just let me get these scales lined in. I want Battlefront 3 so bad. I want to play as Darth Revan. I remember my older brother showing me this one when I was little. I forgot which one. It was you play in the 21st Nova Corps. Are you talking about Star Wars Battlefront 2? Like the original Star Wars Battlefront 2? Because you could unlock like the clone marine. as and he would have like a chain gun. I think he was called Clone Commander class actually. Actually, let's use his. I'm gonna use a 01. So it's a little bit bigger than the 005, but not as big as the 3. And I think having the scales will give it some nice texture. So when I color that, I think that's gonna look nice. That might look a little more full, a little solid, you know? The Green Goblin. I'll let that dry a little bit, and then I'll go over with an eraser to clean up any stray lines. And I think Gabi here is looking kind of finished. He's looking close to being done. I'm just looking over it. Okay. All right, so I think he's done. It's like 2 right now. Hmm. Should we end it here? I'm debating. Should we call it there? Let's see. So we got 3 in inked, and then we'll color them next time. Put a little more lines on his face. I feel like we could probably get the hobgoblin in pretty quick. So maybe we'll do that, and I think that's a good stopping point. I think 4, I'll feel more comfortable with 4. 'Cause I got a lot of these, I got a lot to do. And thank you, Mystery. I'm not gonna lie, I am pretty proud of them. I think they're all coming out pretty nice and fun. And they're fun to do. I'm having fun doing them, and it's like I do love Marvel. I know, especially like OG's been watching me for a while on TikTok lives and stuff. Probably think that I don't like Marvel or DC or mainstream stuff just because I kind of got tired of it for a while. I didn't hate it or anything. It just felt like there weren't really any stakes for me to be invested in was all. But like the designs and some of the elements of the head canon of your favorite bits of these characters. You kind of in your mental, y- you know, your little mental element of hold on, I can't talk. That mental area of all the your favorite parts of a character, taking the parts you like and leaving them out as for a characters like lore and stuff like that. Am I making sense? Is it just me?
Go farther in the all-new Jeep Cherokee Hybrid with over 500 miles of range with no plug needed. Billy. So you can get all the way to the river.
I should drink a little water. It's been a minute since I took a sip. Hold on. Yes, Dave. I was sleeping. You take a nap? You should get some rest. Mystery's just chilling. Just watching the process. Did you see when I started, the hobgoblin here? Okay, so you didn't miss much, just me inking. Yeah, the Battlefront. Which is your favorite of the Star Wars movies? What are you drawing, Mystery? As I always say, we got our little art studio. Got multiple people drawing. Favorite Star Wars movie? Practicing anatomy still. Hands. That's good. Good practice. Technical skills. Empire Strikes Back. That's a good one. I really liked Rogue One, Empire, and Episode 3. As a kid, Episode 2 was like my favorite. You know what I wish, and I always say that one scene in Solo where they're on Minban. There's an extended scene that I'm like, they got to put that in the film. But not only that, I wish that was the whole movie. I want the war back in Star Wars. You know, I would love a whole Star Wars movie where it's just them in the trenches. And then I feel like when it comes to anything Galactic Civil War, it's always like them sneaking around. It's like, oh, there's some stormtroopers around the corner. You know, they're asking questions. I have to be sneaky. Whoa, they almost caught us. It's a good thing we blended in with the other civilians and imperial loyalists. The mud troopers, yes. We come from the mud. The Mimban troopers. Rogue One was one of the first ones to actually give us a full battle. Yeah. Maybe battle the one. Maybe battle one in space. The other one group. Let's get the scales in. And I think this will be the last card for the night, bringing us in at inking 4 cards. I forgot how many cards we drew on yesterday's live. Oh, ground. That's what you're saying. Yeah, the ground battle. You know what I'm just thinking now after I put the ink in? It would have been kind of cool if I put like a pumpkin bomb in his hand. Maybe if I ever draw him again, I'll add a pumpkin bomb. Uh, that could have been cool. Ideas. I think on my hobgoblin drawing that I drew just as one of my, you know, TikTok drawings, I think I drew him with the pumpkin bomb. I might have actually done like that same composition I'm just thinking right now. Two Star Wars. I'm not even counting those. I mean just the pencils for the Marvel cards. I know we did 2 full body Spider-Mans. I know we did the Lizard, and Carnage, so 4, maybe? Did we do more than 4? We did at least 4. But yeah, we did 4 and we had time to do those. New record. Fallen angel and how they brought religion into it. Yeah, like Mustafar being a play on words, kind of like or derived from the word Lucifer, and then it's like hell. It's like a hellish planet. Hello, Brienne. Did I say your name right? It's 12 a.m. I have school in the morning, and I still haven't touched my homework. Haven't touched my homework. Right here it's 2:26 a.m. And good luck with your homework. I think in your case, it's probably best just to take a nap, fall asleep, and see if you can do your homework refreshed in the morning. Yeah, we'll do a card. We'll do a stars one, and then that'll be it. Then we'll end. Does anyone have a preference to Green Goblin or Hobgoblin? Is someone saying like, nah, Hobgoblin all the way, or are they like, no, Green Goblin, that's the OG, Green Gang? Doing my homework is from the teacher that thinks everyone needs to do 80 work essay. Does the student talk back? Oh, 80-word essay. For one student, they punished everyone. That's unfortunate. When I draw a Hobgoblin versus Green Goblin, I like to draw a Hobgoblin like more tattered with like his cape and give him like rips in his cape and his sleeves and his like gloves and his boots on the buccaneer kind of cuffs. I like to give him rips on that. But you can't really see him here because you can't see his arms. Once in PE, we had some dumbass walk. We had to run 2 laps, and then for that, they made us run 2 more. Oh, some dumbass was walking. Not it was not you guys doing a walk. I thought you were saying like it was a dumbass walk. His 3 friends. Forgot lunch yesterday and didn't have money to buy. Teacher said, "Oh well," and I had to beg the lunch lady to give me fruit. Yeah, you don't want to get too sick either. So hopefully the lunch lady did give you a fruit, but you definitely want to take care of yourself as far as like, making sure you eat.
Girl, you gonna want to hear this. Let's take off. Oh, they found out. So shoot at. Oh, oh, no.
Okay, so I think the hobgoblin here is just about done. Welcome back, Keely. So I got here inked 4. I was about to end soon. I think this is the last one for the night. Uh, so here we got Spider-Man inked up, Venom inked up, Green Goblin inked up, and Hobgoblin inked up. And we'll just do a quick little sketch here, and then that'll be where we end. Take a sip of coffee. Trying to think. So Dave's gonna try to guess the Star Wars character. Since it's his birthday, I'm like, all right, we can we can try to squeeze this in. Here we go again. I got a few grapes and I can pass out real easy because I have blood sugar issues. Yeah, so definitely want to take care of yourself. Health is wealth. Um. Okay. Let's make it kind of quick. Uh, 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 uh. Dave, you up for a hard one? I'm gonna give you a hard one. Let's see if you could get it. I'm doing this one in ink. No, not the Praetorian Guards. I'm almost done with it. No. Take a sip of my coffee real quick. Just trying to finalize it a little.
Hey, honey, it's Mom. Did you know if we switch to Verizon, we can get 4 phones for $0 plus 4 lines for $25 a line? Call me back. Me again. That's just $100 a month for 4 lines on unlimited welcome. Plus 4 phones, no trade-in needed. Call me. What we're talking about. I'll send you a text. America's best network based on RootMetrics best overall mobile network performance, U.S. second half 2025. 4 new lines on unlimited welcome and auto pay. See Verizon.com for details.
Yes, the Aqua Droid. It was a more obscure one, but you were able to get it as I put a little more detail on it. I just saw it when I saw the red light a little and the arm. I was thinking the red eye would probably help out a little bit. See, I'm glad I did this one with ink versus the others. I should have done these in ink. I think it kind of has like a fun kind of look to it. And I can like go really black. And thank you, Kaylee. I'm glad you like it. They were some of my favorite droids. I remember seeing them and I was like, that is like so unique looking. You know what it kind of looks like? Anytime I see something like this, they kind of look like those things in Destiny. The Vex. I think that's what they're called. Vex. I don't think I have seen the lava droids. Are you talking about the ones on Mustafar? Yeah, they look better with ink. They kind of like have a finished quality, but like don't take it too serious kind of quality with the sketchy vibe. I had the octopus thing that came out. I don't really remember what that looks like. I think it kind of had like I don't even remember how many tentacles they had. Do you know the assassin droids? There were some assassin droids in some of the comics from the Republic comic series, Republic comics, or was it Obsession? I can't remember. From Dark Horse. Those were some of my favorite droid designs. They were on the planet Jim. What was it called? Jabin. I think it was Jabin. It's the one where Obi-Wan, they thought he died. And it was like a brutal. That was like the darkest I've ever seen Star Wars at that point in time when I was reading the comic. And they looked so cool. I depends on which assassin clothes. Are they the ones that wore like the bark looking helmets? Yes. Okay. So yes, I do. I know a thing or two. I know my stuff. Alrighty. So with that, it is time to go. So let's bring back some of the cards I finished. We'll end on that. I think pretty productive. We made some progress. Next live, we'll color these. It'll be a miracle if I get to get any progress on these off camera with the fact that I still got to do work with Dynamite for the covers. Let's put them like this. There we go. There we go. All the Star Wars ones? Okay. Of course, I put it on top of them, so I have to redo that. There we go. Now I'm thinking, what color should I make the backgrounds of these? So here we have the Aqua Droid, the Geonosian, the Manga Guard. Yes, the goblins. Kaylee, who do you like more, Green Goblin or Hobgoblin? Specifically, the way I drew them, just to make it simple. Kaylee hates when I make her pick which is better. Which one do you like more? Alrighty. So get your last words in. I'll start saying goodbye. Take a sip of my coffee real quick. The goblin's gonna be fun to give him those yellow eyes. Those horrible yellow eyes. But Hobgoblin's gonna be so cool with the contrasting orange and blue and the red eyes. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching the videos, the lives, reading the comics, all the little things you do to support, whether you buy artwork, whether you buy comics, whether you watch stuff, whether you tell people about my stuff, all the little ways is so helpful beyond what you can imagine. So thank you, Mystery. My comment. I feel like I don't have the energy to always read quotes. I need to be like souped up on some caffeine. And thank you, Dave. Alrighty, guys. So again, thank you so much for all your support. I think these are kind of cool because they kind of give little snapshots of like the Marvel. I love Marvel. I love superheroes and stuff. Get tired of them from time to time. I need a break from them when it's like, uh, and I don't. I will say for anyone scared and like, what does this mean in the state of Dead Liberty and Blood Hunt? I don't get tired of my own superheroes. I get tired of mainstream heroes to a degree, but that's more because of like the way things are with a lot of their writing and things like that. And you know, there's stuff that I still get excited for. Specifically looking back, like Jim Lee's X-Men or Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man. Like I never get tired of those. That is something that I just look at the art and I'm just like, my God, I want to draw. Rob Liefeld's X-Force. So it's more like newer things lately have just not really jived with me all that well. And not to say that I hate anything. I'm sure there's stuff I hate, but it's just not exciting to me as much. And then also too, I I don't mean to complain and stuff, but I see a lot of artists just leave the backgrounds just empty and let the colorist go in and color it. And you know, I would like a little more drawing in there. But this is also why my books take so long. So, maybe this is bad advice. Maybe 10 years, if I ever watch this video again, I'll be like, oh, I don't draw backgrounds. I leave empty backgrounds and I let my colorist fill it. Um, it works sometimes, but sometimes it does feel a little empty. And I do like my line work. All right. Anyways, but it's fun, it's fun to get my flair in there, my own little taste on, my favorite elements and how I draw these characters and present these characters, these timeless kind of characters of Marvel. And, you know, like I drew Hobgoblin with his teeth all out. That's how I like when he looks, and he doesn't always look like that. It's I gave Goblin these little things on his hood, which Spectacular Spider-Man's Goblin had that. Um, but went with a more comic route. So, little ways that, kind of put in some of my favorite things of these characters, my interest in them. Um, but yeah, anyways, Thank you so much. Good night, Dave. Happy birthday. Good work with the guess. I was impressed that you got that droid. I feel like I wasn't sure if since it was a Clone Wars one and it was only in a few episodes, I was like, let's see if he gets it. So I was impressed that you got it. All right. So, as always, make it because it doesn't exist and do it because you love it. Enjoy the rest of your night and good night, Spectres.